Hello, hello, it's Dr. RB, and we're back to some tips and tricks, and I'm going to show you some tools that I have been using, and you're seeing my screen here. So let's get into it here. I'm just going to go straight to where we need to be. There we go. So a couple of things. One, I mentioned this in another video, but I highly recommend, because I have not found a good enough program yet. If somebody has something they can recommend, I would be happy to read it in the comments. But if you are going to do content, video content for TikTok and Instagram, make sure that you do a vertical video just for those two. If you're going to do something for YouTube, then it's the landscape video. So it's the one that's 16 by 9, I think it is. And so you want to do the landscape for the educational how-to type videos, which tend to work really well on YouTube. And then for the ones that are more personal, you can also do some tips and tricks. You could do some B-roll, which I mentioned before. B-roll is when you're not speaking to the camera like I'm doing now. B-roll is simply like some natural footage of you doing something. So it's almost like somebody observing you. That would be a B-roll. So here, I had to do a couple of things today, which, was a little bit frustrating because last week I thought I was on a roll getting all of this done. And I was recording content and getting content out there. But then I realized a few things. One, I realized that it's a lot better if you're going to start a business that's very different than what you've been doing. In other words, the content that you're going to be doing, filming, is very different than what you've been doing before. It's so much better. It's just cleaner to start with a separate account. So I had my account on YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel, I should say. I still do. It's related much more with clinical psychology. I have another one on leadership development because those are the two areas of my practice that I serve. So this content, which is really aimed at anyone that has a practice, mostly people in the mental health professions, people that are life coaches, or anyone in the spiritual practices like astrology, intuitive healers, reiki healers, anyone that has a practice and you're seeing clients, this is also geared for you. So this is very different content because I'm talking mostly about digital marketing. I'm talking about how to market yourself and sell your services and products that you have related to what you are doing in the world. And so I really decided just to be cleaner, and this is because of things like algorithms and the way that YouTube is more of a search engine. So just to make everything cleaner so that people can find you easily. Because if you have, for example, TikTok, I have a TikTok account with a good size following, but I'm talking about other things. And so if I start talking about digital marketing on TikTok, basically my audience is not going to be able to find me that well because I'm doing other things. And then the algorithm gets confused because I'm doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's just very confusing for the algorithm. So just to make things easier, and this is a question I had at the very beginning, but I really couldn't find a good answer, or maybe I couldn't find an answer I liked, let's say, and now I finally have. So I really had to stop and do a lot of things over again. And that's okay because I'm learning and I have to keep telling myself that I'm learning, and I want to present everything to you as I go on this journey. And so right here, you'll see that I do have my new YouTube account. This YouTube account, I decided to open it up as a regular Gmail account, so it is not a business account. However, you can still do it, and that's one of the things that I want to show you. So for example, if we go here to my channel, you will see this is my main channel page. And here, these are some things that I've done. So I have here the banner at the top, and the banner is basically, I kind of designed it so that it gives the message of growing a practice. You see that I have like a private practice here at the end, and then I have some plants growing out of coins, and then a picture of me there. Okay, so that's one way of doing this. Then, of course, I have my little logo there with my picture, and I have a very light background so that you can stand out. And I just basically, what I decided to name this page, because again, it's not under a business account, so it's a regular Gmail account. And it's interesting because sometimes I have found having a paid, because I have a couple of paid Gmail workspace accounts, that there's things that you can't do, only people that have a personal Gmail can do. And that was a little bit frustrating. But anyway, I digress here. So I ended up putting here all together. This is basically the name, DR for Dr. RB, Let's Grow Your Practice. So that is my name of my YouTube. And then the handle is at the same thing, Dr. RB, Let's Grow Your Practice. And so this is how I've been able to do it this way. It still looks professional. It still looks like it could be something business related, but it's still a Gmail account. And I was able to do that. If something happens and I get flagged or anything, I will let you know. But right now, it looks like it's okay. And I followed all the rules, and this is how I did it. Now you'll see I only have, because I'm starting out, I only have 4 videos here. And so I wanted to show you, I started with day 1, which would be this video. And I did this is one of the reasons why I say, please separate your TikTok, Instagram, and there's really a whole list. If you want a list, I can send that to you. Just let me know in the comments. And the list will tell you which platforms are better vertical, which are better horizontal or landscape. And there are a couple that are square, like Instagram. I find that I have not really even been using the square. So maybe somebody else can share some light on that. I've never really been into Instagram, but I am now. I just started posting in Instagram also with a new account. So this is basically what I did. I just went on Canva, and Canva's, I love Canva. If you don't have Canva, please look into it. It's such a great tool. You can get the free version of Canva, but I decided to get the paid version because I use it all the time, and you save money because what they started doing with the free version, if you want the really cool graphics, there's like a little crown and you have to pay for it each and every time if you have the free version. If you have the paid version, then everything's, included in the price. So I did this video. I basically added some sides because, it's not a landscape video. And so you can see here that I ended up putting it in here. And then I have the captions, subtitles here at the bottom. And that was created with my Descript, which is another tool that I have that I'll talk about in another video. And so I ended up creating this, and that was my first one. So this is day 1, and this is just basically explaining about who I am and why am I going to be doing this and who's going to benefit from this information, or my ideal clients, or my avatar, as they're also called. So I just basically ended up doing it this way. Now, from Descript, which is where I edit my videos, you can choose the format, if it's going to be vertical, square, landscape, and then after you have finished editing your video, you basically just upload it to YouTube. So I had to take care of that. So today was kind of a long day because I had to create a totally new YouTube account with 0 followers. So I'm starting straight from scratch. So I wanted to really show you this because it's so important. And when you are uploading a video, you need to make sure you have a title. Your title should have good SEO. I'm looking at this now and I'm going to probably have to change it a little bit. So, for example, the SEO that people will find it in Google would be under digital marketing. And for, I'm just going to put practitioners. And then a colon, and the rest will be the subheading. And this is supposed to be, yay, I bought the program, not yeah. So, yay, I bought I should say, wow. This is what happens when you do too much in one day. So, yay, I bought the program is what I want to say. So I'll just put it in here. I bought the program. Join me. So this is how we have it. It should have your search engine optimization, which are the keywords in Google. And you would put that in your title. So your title is rich with keywords. That makes sense. You're not just going to fill it with a bunch of keywords. It doesn't make sense. And then what I did in the description, I usually have follow here, and that'll take people that are watching this that want to know more. They'll go to my website, and there's also a funnel builder system here, which is the system or systeme.io, which is the one that I'm using. And that's also free to start, up to three funnels. And then you fill out the rest of the description. And at the end, I add everything again, just in case they don't want to scroll all the way up, whatever, they can find it there. Now, I decided to keep this thumbnail of me because I thought it was kind of funny. You could add a thumbnail, which I'll show you in a minute. And then if you go down, you'll also see that it has your tags. So just make sure that you have the tags there. You can copy and paste the tags from before. You can move them around. I just copy and paste what I had before, so they're pretty consistent. So this is what I really recommend for YouTube. Have a dedicated YouTube channel for growing your digital marketing business. And in my case, my practice, because everything that I'm doing, this is a side to the work that I'm already doing with clients. So the work that I'm doing in my private practice, as well as my leadership development work. So that would be there. And let me show you one more example. And so here, this is day 1. Okay, and here I have digital marketing, day 1. So the digital marketing is there. And then I ended up uploading a thumbnail that I also created in Canva. So when you create a thumbnail in Canva, and I'll just go there now just to show you really quickly. And this is not a good example, but I'll stay here for now. I had to change the size, which in Canva you're allowed to do if you have the paid subscription. But anyway, it's going to be something like this. You just would upload a photo, and you could add, I ended up doing like a little banner here with something there, day 1, everyone, let's go. And this is what I have there is the thumbnail. I have another thumbnail here with my picture, time to start. And I have another one here showing grow your practice funnels, because this is a funnel video. Now, again, these were changed. Originally, these were the other size. Let's actually I'm going to, let's resize these again, just so that you can see what they would look like. Okay, here we go. And I have to kind of look around because the camera is right in the middle there. So I'm going to resize it so you could just see what it looks like. And of course, it's not getting the size right because it's taking it. But this was the original size. So you could see that it's landscape. And this is really the size that you're going to need for the YouTube thumbnail. So you would basically start fresh. And I won't go into this too much, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea. There's also, so for example, if I wanted to go with a fresh page, I just want to share it with you what it will look like. So here we go. So see, I took this from, Canva has several different templates, and you would just choose the one for YouTube because it already has the measurements in there. Another way you could do this, and I do this a lot, I just look at the measurements and I put it in Canva as a custom, so I don't have to go looking for it. That's another way you could do it. But anyway, it knows that you are going to use this for YouTube, so it has the measurements there. It'll give you some nice templates. And then, of course, I would take this young lady out here, and I would just put a picture of me. And there you go. I mean, it's just to give you an example. This is not perfect right now, but it's a little bit addictive because I'm very aesthetic and I like design. And so I can spend hours here. The temptation is that you do spend too much time. Try to constantly tell yourself that looks good enough. Because you could then get into, at least I do, maybe you're not that way, but I can go down a rabbit hole because I'm like, oh, but I don't know, this blue, maybe I like this other shade of blue, just whatever looks good enough that you can pass, that's it. So, I would have put probably this one, and this would have looked better. And knowing me, I might go back later and redo some of these thumbnails because there's only 4. So this is the nice thing about this. When you're starting out, you are learning and you're like, okay, I kind of don't like this, I like this. So you're going to be changing and doing a lot of changes. But eventually, very soon, you start to create a system. And once you get that system going, it's going to be a lot faster. So just the same way that I'm copying and pasting for my description, and I ended up, and I'll show you that as well, and maybe I'll show it to you in a different place. But I have the descriptions for each of these in YouTube. I have them in my notes because I have an Apple Mac computer, so I have notes. I have it in there. If you're on a PC or you have an Android, you have another note app. You have it in there, so you just copy and paste. But I have in brackets what I need to change. So I will put, the same thing, copy and paste, but I will tailor it to this video. So it's not completely the same every time. It's mostly the same, but I do tailor it and tweak it. Okay, so I wanted to go through this so that you don't fall into the trap that I did, which is, okay, I already have a YouTube account, I'll just use that, or I have a TikTok account, I'll use that, because I do have a lot of followers, and and I don't want to start all over. That's the way. It's easy to fall into that and think that that's the way to go. But please don't fall into that temptation. I know it can feel a little bit painful to think you have to start all over, but it's the best thing you're doing. Because you're laying the foundation for this new part of your business. Or for those of you that don't have a business, this is your first business going on your own. The foundation is so important. Once you have a good foundation set, then even though it feels like you're like a turtle going very slowly, You will pick up steam because you'll have the foundation set, you'll create a system, and then you'll just be going really fast. And then it'll turn into like 2 hours because everyone's talking about the 2-hour workday, right? So it could turn into that if you have already your system in place. But while you're getting it done, you'll probably spend a lot more time than that. And or not. If you just want to spend the 2 hours, you'll do that, but it'll just take you longer to get everything set up and the right way. So I wanted to show you that part, and then I want to come over here. This is another tool that I really love, and this is called repurpose.io. This is a paid. I don't know honestly if they have a couple weeks free or 7-day trial. I will look that up. I didn't look it up because my purpose is not to sell you this, but this is what I'm using. So I want to show you all the tools in case you're looking for some tools to use. So here in the repurpose.io, what you're going to do first is you create your connections. And again, I'm not going to go really in depth with it, but I want to give you an idea of how this works. You create the connections, you have sources and destinations, sometimes they're both, and that just simply means that a source is where you would pull your content from, like it could be YouTube, and a destination could also be YouTube, let's say YouTube Shorts, or it could be TikTok. TikTok could also be a source, and you would take videos from there and you would put it in Instagram. That would be your destination. So for here in this page, you'll see that I have TikTok to Instagram. And again, these are the new accounts I've had to create. So that's another thing. I had to be careful because I already had Repurpose.io before. So now I have to actually label which TikTok account, which Instagram account, even though Instagram is different because this is the only Instagram that I have because I wasn't using it before. And so here I had to do a lot of cleaning up as well. But just to give you an idea, it's going to take my TikTok and bring it over to Instagram. And you see it's published already because I've already set this up. But if I hadn't, I just want to give you a little taste. Maybe it won't let me now. Yeah, because I guess I already did it twice. I'm not sure. But anyway, it'll take from TikTok, because TikTok is vertical, and it'll put it in Instagram, which is vertical. And what I always do with these types of repurposing software, if I'm not able to edit here in the program, a lot of the times you are, but sometimes even though you are, it's better to do it on the actual platform. So I will send it to TikTok. It'll appear as a draft. Actually, you'll get a message from TikTok saying, this has been uploaded, it's ready to make edits. That's what you'll get. And I prefer doing that because I can add the music then. I can make sure the captions are there correctly. I can do all of that before I actually publish it. And usually it takes no time at all really to add the music and just to make sure everything's working. And I also like to add my description or title. I like to add my hashtags. There are some things that you could do here, but I just rather do it there because I find that I have more control. And the same with Instagram. Even though honestly, Instagram, I just do it automatically from the Repurpose platform. I don't do a lot of edits there because I just find with TikTok, you can do a lot more edits than Instagram. So with Instagram, it just kind of, I'm actually making the edits on TikTok that it ends up going. Now, when it does transfer to Instagram, it will not have the watermark or it will not have the logo of TikTok. So you don't have to worry about that. It just goes straight over into Instagram as if you uploaded it directly. And so again, I hope this tip was helpful for you because I wasn't really told this, and I'm going through the program right now, And the what I ended up learning so far is I did learn that it should be a separate account for this purpose, simply because of the algorithms of especially TikTok and Instagram. And then YouTube is always great for the how-to or to do like an explainer. That's what YouTube is great for. But for TikTok and Instagram, that's really where you want to get personal with people, have them get to know you. That's where you want to present things like this, which are the tips and tricks, so you can provide some type of educational value so people can learn something. And I really do appreciate when people go through something and, they kind of, beat their head against the wall, and then they turn around and they share with all of us their findings, because then we don't have to beat our head against the wall. We get to learn from them and then avoid that. So we save a lot of time. And that's what I'm really hoping that I'm doing here with you and providing you this value. If you want to know more and you like this content, be sure to put a like and also join me. So, hit like and hit the little plus and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you are posting one like YouTube and then you just let it go to the other side, because I do know that TikTok was allowing or starting this landscape, and that was also pretty confusing because you could do the landscape on TikTok, but if you did different things, it would not be able to go into landscape mode when the person turned their phone. You would have to see the little phone in the TikTok video, and so that was a little bit frustrating. So you could still do that some of the time. For example, I think my how-to videos on YouTube, I'll probably bring them over to TikTok and Instagram, but I just don't like how the ratio is, and it's like, you don't see it, and unless you have that ability to turn the phone on the side like what TikTok did, and then it becomes bigger like a YouTube video, and then you could see it. So let me know in the comments if you are doing that, or if you are doing vertical and landscape separately like what I'm doing. Let me also know in the comments if you've had to open up new accounts because of your new business venture. And let me know also what you do if you are in mental health, if you are into the coaching sphere, like life coaching or health coaching. If you are in the spiritual practices, let me also know. And I'm really hoping that you'll come along with me for this journey. And again, I'm committed to sharing everything that I'm learning. And again, if you find this interesting and you really like this content, go ahead and put a like and put the little plus sign. I also have a place where you could know more of what I do and get further in touch with me. Okay, here's to another week. Happy week. Bye.